Yo, 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 yo. We back on the porch again with your two favorite uncles, and we got our favorite aunties in the house, man. What's happening, y'all?
What's happening, lady?
Hey,
I'm gonna be on my best behavior tonight, man. You know, I'm good. I'm good.
You gonna be good tonight, bro?
I'm good, bro. I am.
You serious? You gonna be good. Uncle Goat gonna be good. Y'all heard it?
I'm gonna be real good.
Okay.
I'm,
pinky
I'm,
promise.
I'm gonna reel
I'm
you back
gonna,
in if you start cutting up now.
I'm gonna be so good, y'all ain't gonna even know I'm here.
Huh. That's real good, being that we got video proof.
That part.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm interested to see how that gonna go right there. Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, so you already know, man. It's voting season.
Mm-hmm.
So my Black History fact, because there's always Black History on the porch, baby.
There we go.
Always.
All
So we
day.
finna we finna take it back to 1870. 1870 Amendment 15 is when they ratified the amendment for all races to be able to vote. Now, with that being said, we still had a lot of shit that we had to go through to still be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, you know what, damn what this amendment say. I ain't letting them vote. But that's another story for another day. But 1870 was the original ratification for our rights to vote.
That's what's up. You know, and that
I'm
it's
so proud
truly
of him.
it's
Black
Don't
truly
start with them.
history.
yeah, it's
Don't
truly
start
important
with them.
that we go out and vote. You know what I'm saying? We take that serious and we understand that, it's gonna always be somebody pulling the strings. Always. But understand that if you don't use your voice, don't come to my ear complaining. You know what I mean? Don't go to nobody ear complaining if you don't take the time to let your opinion be known. Because either way it go, either way you go, you gonna have somebody in there that's not gonna do something that somebody won't done. But cast your vote for you. Stand on your vote.
What are y'all feelings about the election?
Hmm. Hey man.
Um, At
Auntie
the end of,
Nene tell them.
I just feel like at the end of the day, somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose, and you know, it's a given. Somebody, but I just hey, at the end of the day, somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose, and there's gonna be a lot of heartbroken people. Um, I just hope that regardless of who wins, who loses, we don't lose our country, meaning our country is not divided because of who wins or who loses.
But it's already divided before we go in and vote. You know what I mean? The vote itself causes a divide.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I feel that instead of us looking to DC or the capital to provide for us, we should be going next door and talking to our neighbors
Coming
and
for
working
each
amongst
other.
ourselves. You
Yep.
feel me? This
but that's
this
why I
this fair
said
just made like a couple of a couple of meals in a week. And that came from the individuals in these communities and surrounding counties. Now, why is it that those individuals couldn't come together to build something for themselves with them meals?
But you
Be-
got to understand, Georgia National Fair has played a role in bringing all of Georgia together. Long, probably for a very, very long time. Uncle Goat can probably one day tell us the when did Georgia National Fair first start or whatever. But we can't say, oh, that came together and made me, because the people that come to the fair, there are people locally in the Warner Robins and in surrounding areas that are vendors. Am I right? So that doesn't mean all of the money leave when the fair leaves. It's a lot of local vendors that vend at the fair that have made good money. So I don't agree like, oh, they just made a whole bunch of money and then basically the money left. It's you can be a local vendor. If you wanted to go and cook at the fair, you can. I do know that the paperwork was out there about vending at their
Right.
location.
But the point that I'm making, Auntie Nene, is why can't those individuals that went to the fair spent that money? Why can't they work together as a collective? That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about going against anybody that goes out and vend and do what you do, make your living. But what I'm speaking on is the same thing I was alluding to with the voting. Work together with your neighbor to build something for yourselves and stop depending upon someone else to provide for you.
I'm
A
in
lot
agreement with that one.
more can be done if we work together, but
Together. Yeah.
everybody, you always got to have that one cat that want to be the chief, and can't nobody else be the chief but me. It got to go my way. What you think, Uncle Goat?
Man, damn that fair. That fair ain't got shit to do with Black history.
You know what?
That's what I think.
Okay, so obviously that went over on head right there. We gonna have to we talk damn we talk we talking about the fact of individuals casting their using their vote, their voice. We're using the fair as a metaphor.
That fair ain't got shit to do with what we got to vote for. That fair, that fair. I don't know when that fair started. That fair always been here. That fair gonna be here regardless of who win or who lose. That fair ain't got shit to do with bringing everybody together.
It ain't always been. Come on now, you know the fair used to be in Cordell, man. They had that little fair around the track field, man.
They still,
Yeah,
but they still have community fairs because I know here in Americas we have a fair. They started back with our community fair, so a lot of the communities are working together to bring back their local community. I mean, it may not be as big as it was when we were little, but here in Americas they do bring, rides and enjoyment, and I mean it's something better than nothing here to our little town. So but I just feel like when it like we and maybe I'm just looking at it from a different angle. When you think about the election, I do think that people are working together on both sides of the aisles. This is a very, very critical, important election, not just because it's a black woman, but just because of all of the things that are at stake with this election. So, I mean, I don't say people are not working together or, they put resources here and then put resources there. Like, I don't know if y'all follow the news, but here just recently, the Republicans here in the state of Georgia, they wanted to put out, I want to say an amendment, or they wanted to put out a bill about hand counting ballots right there at the end of election. And the judge said no, that would delay the results because, okay, we all know that the other side, and I say the other side because I'm just referring to the Republicans. There were people that said, "Oh, Georgia messed up. Georgia messed up. Georgia didn't mess up. People just showed up." And I do think as black people, sometimes, whether it's because of felonies, whether it's because I just don't feel like voting. What I'm voting for, what I got, what I'm gonna get out of it.
but even if
Oftentimes,
you're a
we as
felon, you can vote.
you can. I'm not saying
There
you
are
can't,
measures
but
that you can take to
She's saying the
restore your
excuses
vote.
I'm
that
not
I know
she's
saying
those
saying
that.
are
the
excuses,
excuses
but
that
what
the
we're not
black
gonna do,
community
what we're
use.
not gonna do on the porch, is we ain't gonna let them use no excuse. We're gonna let them know that there are measures that you can take to go out and vote if you want to vote, if you've
If you do the
evolved
right
from that
things, you
life.
can. But the only thing that I'm saying is there are people that feel like, and Lady T follow what I was saying. There were people that had once said, "Oh, well, you're a convicted felon, you can't vote," and they were told that, "Oh, you can't vote, you can't vote." That a lot of times in their mind, like, "Well, they told me I couldn't vote." They don't know that even as a
And that is
convicted
why we're
felon,
using this platform to let them know that there are measures that
yeah,
you can take to go and regain your vote if you want to regain
if you
your
wanted
vote.
to do so,
If you
I
want to do
agree.
so, but if you don't want to do so, don't complain about nothing that's going on around you because
Well,
you ain't
people
had nothing to
go
say when
one
it was time to speak up.
One thing I can say about, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm very pro black. I want fight for my rights and I believe in what I believe in. But when I say people will find stuff to complain about, white, black, it don't matter who you are. People are going to find an excuse. I want to vote, but the line was too long. I want to vote, but they say I'm a convicted felon. So I get what you're saying. If they go through the right channels and they vote early, they make a plan, they do all of this stuff, they can vote. So we're not making excuses or even throwing out excuses. We're having a conversation about what's at stake. And everybody needs to know that, hey, unless I go and you just tell me I cannot vote, I'm making a plan to go and vote. So
As you
maybe I'm
should.
looking at
As
it
you should.
wrong.
Lady
Maybe
T,
I'm
what you think about this upcoming election? What do you think, Lady T?
Oh, me? I'm listen. It's in God's hand. It's above me now. Um, I'm serious. Like with everything that's going on coming up to the election, it's just we gonna need a lot of prayers, and I
But
just don't feel like either can me personally. I just don't feel like either candidate is
worthy.
yeah. But it's like you gotta choose. Like you said, you can't
Straddle the fence.
not go out there and vote and then whoever gets in there be talking about it after the fact if you didn't go cast your ballot. Like I I'm still sitting here like, okay, Lord, when we when we go do this now, I'm gonna need you to guide my hand. 'Cause I honestly I don't see either one of them their leadership being good for this country. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't. But again, I can't not vote. Like I gotta vote.
Right. Right. I mean, I feel you. It's
So
if you don't say nothing, don't say nothing.
look, I'm gonna just have to do this. It's above me now.
That part.
It's
All
above.
I want to be able to say is I did my part.
I did it. I'm gonna get my little
Did my
sticker
part.
with my Georgia peach on there that say I voted. I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about it
man.
after. Well, who you voted for? None of your business.
That part. I voted for when I voted. That's who I voted for. When I had voted,
We gonna see who win.
I voted for. But dig it, man. So y'all know we still on this journey inside of ourselves, these 20 steps, and we up to 16 and 17. So we kind of talked about toxic relationships in the past a little bit, but tonight we're going to go a little bit further into it. We're going to talk about recognizing and dealing with toxic relationship patterns, because some individuals will push it off on someone else instead of saying I did this, because I did this, that happened. Had I not said X, he wouldn't have did Y, or she wouldn't have did Y. So I want to get y'all perspective on, how do you recognize your toxicity how do you channel it?
Hey, Aunt got to be right back. Aunt got to handle some business right quick. So I'm gonna push back up on y'all. I'll be back.
Peace.
Come back.
Uh-oh.
On, but who's talking about some come back? What you mean come back? Craig?
Come back.
I don't even know what to say. He the
What you mean?
toxic one. He the see that was toxicity.
See, that's what happened. Yeah, hey, don't do my bro like that. Don't do
We had already called him out on it.
Yeah, we had told him he was gonna
We had
take lead
already
tonight
called
on
him
the
out on it.
conversation. So
Damn, y'all told him, y'all already had called him.
we had already called it. We had already told him.
We had to have that talk beforehand.
We had to have that pep talk and everything with him.
Yeah.
So again, now how do you ladies, how do you deal with that, recognizing your toxicity?
I think for me, my toxic trait, you want to know basically our toxic trait, right? What makes
No, how do you deal with it? How do you redirect that energy? Because we all know we possess that energy, and I don't care for you to share, too much.
It's levels to it.
Yeah.
One. It's
Mhm.
levels to being toxic. but you got to be able to identify what it is, your toxic trait. So, in order to redirect or channel that energy, you have to be able to identify that trait. Now, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, well, listen, I I didn't know about some of my traits until after I had don't got out of them situations, and I was just like, "Dang, I was like that, me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
Nah, that wasn't me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that was me there."
That
And
was.
then them giving me like scenarios or examples of how let's just say my attitude, right?
Uh-huh.
So I came out of a um abusive relationship, right? Physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever. So I didn't heal from that before I started talking to somebody else, right? So when you in them type coming out of a situation like that, it messed with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to him and he gave pushover. And I was like, I need you to check me. Like, you ain't gotta put your
Did
hands
that.
on me.
But
That was toxic.
why? Right.
That was
Right.
toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I don't need you to put your hands on me, cuss me out, or nothing like that. I need you to be assertive. Like, I need you to be a man. Be like, you know what I'm saying? Because if I feel like I'm just running over you and you let me do whatever, like
I'm gonna keep running over you.
I'm gonna keep running over you. So me
It,
saying like I need you to check.
if he allows you to continue to run over him, but again, why do you want to connect to an individual that you can run over instead of an individual that you can run with?
I was unhealed. I said that I was unhealed from that situation. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, okay, if something happened and I know I used to talk reckless. That was another trait. I used to talk real reckless. So I'm not as aggressive as far as what I'm saying, but it was just like if I say something to offend you or whatever the case may be, check it in that moment.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying check me like cuss me out, put your hands on me or nothing like that. I'm just saying check
Hey,
that. If you
yo,
feel disrespected, if I offended you, let me know because in that moment, if I've purposely I'm saying and doing this stuff on purpose to try to get a
mhm,
reaction. Keep in mind now, I want y'all to keep in mind I'm unhealed and that was a toxic trait. But it's to see what you gonna do with it. And then once you don't do anything with it, then I'm gonna up the ante. I'm gonna try something else. So me saying check that situation is for me to see where you stand at in your masculinity. Like, get me right. Be assertive, take charge, like one of them type situations. And he
well,
was
see,
like, that was one of the issues,
I'm
that was
gonna
one
tell
of
you
the
straight up,
situations.
real talk, a real dude, a real cat. When you come at me with, if you come at a cat with all that rah rah rah, and you want to be checked, you got to control yourself before anybody else can control you. So I'm gonna walk the fuck away and leave you standing right there doing what you were doing and saying what the hell ever you were saying, because I don't entertain
I
that
don't
language.
entertain it. Right. And this is younger me.
Mm.
So it's like this is during the talking phase. We're not even together. We're just like talking. So
And
didn't
you are
work out.
right.
It didn't work out. We had a conversation sometime later, and he was like, that was one of the things that kind of turned me off from you because that's toxic. Like, and he was like, I can kind of tell that you went healed from that situation prior to that had did a lot to you. So it was like, yeah, I chose to kind of not
Mhm.
entertain that or go into that
Right.
because that could have been a bad situation because I got
Right.
toxic traits too. So it was like I respect that.
Hmm.
I respect that you saw that I was in a place where I hadn't healed and that was pretty much stemming from what I had just came from. But then I had to go be in a place of, okay, I'm sorry for that. Because like where I was
Right.
then and where I am now is not, you know,
Same.
I had to go through whatever I needed to go and I needed to hear that. Because what man go tolerate crazy behavior like that? Ain't no man finna tolerate a real man ain't finna tolerate no foolishness like that.
Mm-mm. No,
And
because
that's
it.
gonna have me sitting over here. by myself under this umbrella of the typical black attitudinal woman.
Black Bobby
Aggressive.
Womack.
Yeah. So that's how I redirected my
That's what's up. That's
But
what's
Lady
up. But I
T,
mean, that's what life is about, and I'm glad that you were able to see what you saw, and you understand and know that situations need to be handled in the moment of those situations and not later. You know, I know a lot of females. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of females. I can't put it on one race. A lot of individuals, some individuals will hold on to instances and circumstances and bring it up later when they want a scapegoat. They need
Mm,
an excuse or a cover for something that they've done in the present moment. They want to go back to when a transgression was made against them and highlight that instead of staying where we are. That
right,
instance should have been addressed when that instance happened,
right.
right,
because obviously we've been bullshitting each other all this time in between since 9 then, because here we are back where we were.
No
So
growth.
Auntie Nene,
right. And Lady T, it brought took me back because I remember when I used to be in the in that same place of, if I do this, then tell me. But I think my biggest thing with me is just me being controlling. I try to control everything to a certain extent around me. And so, like, when I'm dealing with a man, I always say, I want a man that's a real man that ain't afraid to be a man. Be assertive. You ain't got to necessarily be aggressive or physically aggressive, but you got to be a man. You got to exhibit to me, like, hey, I'm a man. You ain't going to talk to me like I'm one of your children, you know? So, for me, when it came to me being controlling, what I had to learn is, step back, step back. What I had one guy to tell me, he said, you always want to plan, but then you get mad at me because I don't plan. He said, what I'm planning for, you already got it all planned out. You already know where you want to go eat. You already know where you when if we going to the store, you already know what stores you want to go to. You already know everything. So he said, you think you know everything, or you know everything that you want to do. He's like, you're not allowing me to be the man to say, hey, put on your clothes, get in the car, and just ride. So what he would do, and I guess because he picked up that was my toxic trait that I want to be controlling, he'll be like, just get in the car. And he would just ride around in these weird circles because he didn't want me, like, if we go a particular way, okay, I know where we going. So he would do little stuff and we would stop off little places. And I'd be like, dog, so they really where we going? He like, yeah, they're really where we going.
right?
But I
So
think that was my toxic my and I look at it like just I get just putting on the line. Like for me, just like you, it like I want you to check me, I want you to say something to me. But when the conversation was had, because I mean like we were good friends, but when the conversation was had, he was like, you can't control everything. Everything is not gonna go the way you want it to go. So just kind of like you, it's kind of like after, when you in it, you don't see what they trying to tell you, but then when it's over, you're
Yeah.
like, wow, I did that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said that.
yeah,
And then I'm just ready to be soft. Like I feel
Yeah.
like with the toxic traits and stuff like that, it comes from a place of having to be, and it's like hyper masculine energy all the time from being a single mom or being single. You get what I'm saying? Like having to be
Yeah.
independent and all that stuff. So it's like I want to be soft and let my man love on me and
and he
but
will.
when you in a place where you've been this independent person and now I'm having to kind of like give the reins or share the reins of, this leadership spot, it's kind of hard to do when
You
I've
being
had to be hyper masculine. I've had to be aggressive. I've had to be assertive. Like I've had to be all of these things. But now I'm kind of like, I want to sit back and relax. I don't want to be toxic no more.
Right.
well, I always say that not necessarily I just don't want to be toxic no more. But I want somebody to say, you know what, sit your toxic behind down and
I
let me
got
love
you.
you. I got you.
Go
You
on, let me
okay?
love
You ain't
you.
all right. You ain't got to plan it. You ain't got to worry about where we go. You ain't even got to worry about the gas. You know, just get your behind in this car, sit
Mm-hmm.
down, put your shades on, go to take
All
that
right,
gummy and
just
go to sleep.
chill. Just chill. Let's vibe. Let's ride and vibe. That's all he was trying to do, and is create a moment for you two to have some time to bond.
Just relax.
You
That
know
I and
what that is over there? I don't know. Let's stop and see. Just just those moments right there are the moments that make connections powerful. Because you create those memories, and you again, you wake up sometime in the middle of the night or whatever, and you land there and y'all just start talking about some of the stuff, that some of the experiences that you shared.
right.
And that's how you rechannel some of that negative energy, that toxic energy. Because that toxic negative is one and the same to me.
It
Yeah.
is. It really
And
is.
we all possess negative energy. That nobody possess 100% positive energy. No, we don't. So we all possess some negative energy in us, and the trick is to find a way to release that negative energy in a positive way.
All right.
Yeah. Reach out. I always try to tell myself, like, reach out. Like, if I find myself talking to somebody, because, like, y'all know, and later to you went on, but I told them I gave up on dating for 2024. So, not that I've given up on dating, it always be somebody little ugly son hop in the inbox, or I'm having a conversation with,
Why you got to be ugly
and
though?
because I always say they ugly. They all y'all be ugly.
Well, I call them. I see somebody dust the sun, and
Yeah, I call them dusty too, but definitely ugly. I be like with the ugly ass. But
Look at that.
okay.
See what I'm saying?
But
There's
still,
no love for the kings.
so but Lady T get what I'm saying. We have to put that, and we don't mean anything bad when we say it, but we have to say it because it just like, if you like somebody, you don't want them to know you like them. So they
Why
got to be
not?
ugly, dusty, rusty. What else, Lady T? They got to be something.
listen.
Ashy, if they ashy,
Yeah,
it's ashy
yeah, I
behind it.
dig
It's
it.
something.
I dig it.
But
I dig it. That is how we tend to show affection, by belittling each other.
Not the
But
belittling.
yeah, we belittle.
no,
We talking. We using that negative in a positive way, because
yeah,
that other individual, you would have hoped that they understand that it's a joke,
it's
and
in
not,
love. And
it's
if you
not
ain't
that
got
I mean this. I hope you ain't musty. I hope you ain't dusty. You
You
know.
can't
Nah.
call them musty now. Hold up. They'll call them fire word nowadays. You can't call them musty. Can't. Mm-mm.
Oh
But
yeah,
we can call them Dusty.
right.
And we can call them ashy and we can call them rusty.
But you
Yeah.
can't call them musty.
But we can't say
Can't call them.
Musty.
Can't. That real
And you
toxic.
That,
just
That
that,
called
that's
us
on the
that's
line.
ugly.
Now
real.
you saying too damn much. Now you don't call me motherfucking musty.
Yeah. Them
That
fire
that
words.
that just pop off like that, right?
If you ain't got nothing else to say, you better just say, "Hey,
You
big
gonna sit
head."
your
I mean,
rusty, dusty, toasted, just must.
big
Oh no,
headed
hell no, I
behind
ain't
down.
musty. Oh no, I ain't musty. The fuck?
That was a new one there. I ain't even know I ain't know it was levels to it now. I
It's
We
just
level
learned
two.
something new.
I'm
Shoot.
gonna just let you say what you want to say about me until you call me stinking or musty. Then
We
that
gotta
that.
fight.
Oh
Yeah.
We
yeah,
gotta
no.
fight. Those are fighting words. You just called me the
Right.
hardest B you could ever call me. Saying
Yeah. Right.
musty.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can get how that would go for a female, because that's the last thing you want to be is you want to be odoriferous. You
Yeah.
don't want to be odoriferous. Yeah, I've been told that my vocabulary and my delivery is a bit to digest, but I'm gonna tell you, just like I told them, man. Hey, man, I'm me, and we on the porch. If you don't understand what I'm saying, hey, you got Siri on these phones. You can get you a dictionary, and you can actually read and learn a little bit. You know what I mean? And then come in here and you might can teach me some stuff.
Tell me
Listen,
some new words.
Right. Let's
Yeah.
help each other. Let's make each other better.
I agree.
I can't.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
What's the word, Ox?
Odoriferous.
Odoriferous. Cause
Yes.
I chop that word up.
Listen,
So
listen. All I heard was odor. Like that's all
yeah.
I heard. That's it.
And then look, Lady T, I almost did it.
Well, damn.
Hey, that dress on all day to
Look,
make sure it ain't me.
when
Oh,
he said it,
different.
I was like, he just said somebody stank. That's what he just said.
I'm just telling you, like,
Somebody
it's a lot
stank.
of stuff you can say to people nowadays, but when the moment you say if they over 35, over 40, the moment you say they stink, you better be ready to throw hands
Yeah,
or put
that's
your hand up.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, that's a different
Damn.
level of toxic. Like some of the guys I'm friend with, I'd rather just say, hey, big head. And then if I ain't got nothing else to say, what's up, big head?
Wow. So that's why y'all be saying, that's why a female be doing that?
When she say, hey, big head, that's love
That
and
basically
affection.
she saying, hey, I was thinking ass.
No, she
no, that
said,
ain't the
well,
same.
hey, look, I
No,
just
that
said
ain't the same.
love and
I'm not
affection.
gonna agree with that.
Oh,
I
okay.
just did, Lady T, did I not say that it means love and affection? Big head means love and affection. That's what she's saying.
But
That's all.
Not what you just
okay,
said. That ain't what that means.
but now let me why is it that terminology is used even when cats have little head? They be talking hey big head. What they be
That's
talking about
love
though?
and affection. I keep
So
saying it. Love.
what they really referring to though? Are they alluding to something?
I'm gonna leave
Oh
that Lady
no,
T.
it's
Lady
a
T.
term of endearment.
Oh, it's
Thank
a
you.
term of endearment. Okay.
Hey, big head.
So how do you guys think that you handle when did you notice in some of your connections, do you notice when other individuals are displaying their toxic energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
muted
Listen.
myself so I won't be talking over you now. So I'm gonna just I just want you to hear my
Auntie,
mouth moving, but I don't want to be. I'm trying to do better, so I'm gonna just mute myself.
what you mute yourself for?
right, what
Didn't
are
you
you
just
talking
give me the
about?
Come
thumbs
on,
up?
Lady T, we ready to hear about what happened when they were being toxic. Now, I be talking, I be drinking, I be talking. So I'm trying to better
I don't,
myself.
so I can't. I mean, in my past situations and seeing these toxic energies come out, I was a macho energy type person. So, but that became it's draining, right? So it's like
Hmm.
we both got this toxic energy going on. Who gonna be the bigger person to say, "Hey, this ain't working. We
That
ain't
part.
getting nowhere. We keep having the same argument. No solutions. We go through all of this to come back and be at the same place because we never came to a resolve because you toxic, I'm toxic. We at each other and ain't nobody hearing.
Mm-mm.
There's no understanding. Like there's no nothing. So I just got to the point where I stopped. When that toxic energy, the arguing. I'm not gonna do it. Um, Playing victim, not gonna engage in it. What's another one? Being overly aggressive. That's a
Yeah.
toxic trait too. I'm 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 not gonna feed into it because that's with the toxic stuff, especially with energy. A person can have control over you when they're being in this negative space and they can move your emotion. They now have control over you.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for that. So let me take my control back. Let me get me back and get
Mm-hmm.
me under
That
control.
part.
You can do all that. Eventually you go shut up. Eventually you go stop
Gotta be,
because
yeah.
I'm choosing not to engage in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was how my last situation, how I don't have the energy or the mental space for that. And I get quiet. That's so powerful. Silence,
Oh my god.
powerful,
It's so loud.
It be
It's
very
powerful.
so
loud.
loud.
volumes.
Oh my God.
It speaks volume. You don't know what to do with me.
Mm-mm.
You
Because
don't know how to react. You don't know
and they
what to do
shouldn't
now.
know what to do with you because you control you.
That part.
So when it's like that, Lady T, and I'm just asking, sister,
Okay.
when do you say, okay, enough is enough? Because I'm trying to see if my timeline makes sense before I engage in it.
That was a work in progress. So I say during that situation, that was a 6-year relationship. It took about maybe 4 years for me to get to the place of I'm not finna feed into it. I'm not finna feed into it. I'm not arguing. We might have a disagreement. We might not talk for 2 weeks to a month.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can't do it. And once I picked up on that exchange of energy,
Right.
that I can be in a place of being like I can be good, happy, trying to be positive, trying to speak into you, encourage you and all that stuff, and then it flipped into something else, and now you're trying to get me to feel however you're feeling, and I'm not giving you that. So once I picked up on the different patterns, it took me a minute. Like I said, out of 6 years, it took me at least 3.5, 4 years to get to a place of saying, you know what, mm-mm. Nah.
Mm-hmm. You realize your value in the time that you were wasting,
But
the
it
energy
took me
that you were
being
giving up.
out of the situation to actually see everything in totality. Like,
Mhm.
okay, you wasted 3.5 years arguing. You wasted 2.5 years doing the whole silent treatment, or y'all not actually discussing stuff because both of y'all stubborn, hard headed. You don't want to listen. He don't want to listen. Y'all can't come to an agreement on anything because it's, well, you did this. Well, you did this. I ain't gonna listen to you because you did this. You ain't gonna listen to me because, you get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Right.
being outside of it was like, okay, let me just hush. You can hear a whole lot. You can see a whole lot when you ain't speaking.
Mhm.
That's true.
And then I was able to reevaluate the whole overall situation, even my toxic stuff. So
Mhm.
when you say giving you a timeline, like that was just the last situation that I can go based off, because I feel like this is the time where I've learned the most. And
Mhm.
it came in with the knowing my value. And you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stuff we do be because of we don't have standards. Those
Mhm.
standards be low.
And you don't
So
have standards because you don't know yourself.
you tolerate a whole lot. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Because that standard that you think you have, they're really only giving the bare minimum, to be honest with you.
That's
But that's
true.
because you aren't requiring anything more. So once you
Mhm.
step back and actually see what you're deserving of, what you're worthy of, that self confidence comes, that self esteem goes up. Like,
Mhm.
baby, you don't have time for that toxic stuff.
No,
Yeah,
at all.
true.
Very true.
I'm sorry, I ain't answer your question. I
So,
can't give you no
No, no,
timeline, boo.
no, no, no. You did. Believe it or not, you actually did. Like you said, during the course of the 6 years, it's not a okay. I'm out. It's a progress. Like, okay, we go from being toxic together to now I'm not gonna entertain the toxic, and I'm gonna just give you the silent treatment to, you know what, this ain't it. So I totally get what you're saying.
you
Like
see
you
the
saying, it's
transition.
it's no exact like 2 month, 3 month, 4 month.
Yeah.
After 6 years, I just say I'm done with it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Everybody, you know when you've had enough.
Yeah.
When you had enough, it don't matter what nobody else say. No, I'm good. I don't I don't want no. I don't want no more of this. You good with what you got. I appreciate you for everything that we've done. I wish you well. But get the fuck out of my face and go to hell. It
I
get
don't
to that
say
point sometime.
You
Huh?
might want
I don't tell them to go to hell.
You don't.
me. I don't tell them to go to hell, but
Now,
I
now
tell
me
them that
about
I hope everything go good with
So
them. But
y'all
in
ain't
my
never told
mind,
nobody to go to hell.
listen, I was about to say that. Now, if you would have met me about 10 years ago,
That's what
I would have said not to go to hell. Find the nearest bridge and jump off of it and play in traffic. Like, yeah.
But see, like for me, I never think I took it to that extent. But I sit there and tell them, I hope everything go well for you. But secretly in my head, I am saying, nigga, go straight to hell. Like in my head, I'm saying it,
See,
but
there you
I
go.
don't vocalize it. Like, nah, hey, we good. Like at the end of the day, we good.
But
And it's up to
but
them
like you
how they
said,
read it.
your inner self,
My inner self,
is
well,
saying go to hell, but this shell is saying I'll get
yeah,
you
yeah.
well.
When I say
You know what? If
presentation.
you fall on hard times, call me first.
Now don't
I
call me.
ain't got
I don't say that. Don't say.
Don't call me.
Don't even. I
you.
had one, and I ain't gonna go through the whole thing, but I was like 35, and I actually thought he was older than what he. But this the reason why I don't date young guy. I thought he was like maybe 23, 24. I later found out he was like 21. So imagine I was 35 dating a 21-year-old, and he had
Oh, get it.
just turned 20. I promise.
Auntie,
He, Lady T,
auntie
this
was
is a no
outside.
judge.
He manipulative
No.
you.
He didn't manipulate me. The way he looked, I thought he was older than what he was. It wasn't until we was involved with each other that I found out. But then why I don't date like men. We have a conversation, baby. If you in my son finna be 25. If you under 35, 36, don't even call me. I'm 43. So I usually say no. Really, it's supposed to be no less than 5, no more than 10. So if I'm 43, it might be 38. I might be out by a year or two, but no. But with him, because he was younger than me, he was very aggressive. He was very physical, very demanding. Cause you gotta think, I had a good job, and I went through that stint of trying to help him find a job and find me a better job. Still, he wasn't working. He just wanted to ride around all day, do young boy, hot boy shit.
He was a
Whatever.
YN.
He was, to me. I don't say they be popping pills. I don't know what the word they be doing. Tell you the truth, I honestly don't know. But it got to the point to where he would say stuff, because I'm older than you. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my prime. But he would say little stuff, and it went from saying little stuff to now we're physical. To me being like you say, you go from that aspect of it to I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm just not gonna entertain anything that you say. I'm not going to entertain anything that you do, to where I had became somebody totally opposite of who I am today.
Mhm.
And so I kind of like went in myself, and then in the process of you steadily doing stuff, steadily, like you get the car, you stay out all night. You in my car all night with your little female. And people looking at me, they like, Tanisha, this ain't you. Now, we know supposed to been put hands on him, did something, and you just, and I had to go to God. I had to go, because I went going to church like I should have. I had to physically go back to God and ask God to give me back my power, give me back my strength, give me back whatever it was had been taken, my dignity, whatever it was I felt like taken from me. I got it back. And when I got it back, I just told my, and that's why I asked about the timeline, because this was a year. It went on for a whole year straight. We talking about from October of one year to October of the next year. And
Okay, so
I
I
just
just
told him, I
want to.
just said, I just told him I gave him a certified letter saying he had 30 days to get out my house. Cause I would put him out, he'll be like, I ain't got nowhere else to go. Because his family was in Atlanta. He had came down to go to school at the technical school. So it was I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nowhere to go. And I would be, okay, I'm gonna
You
just
think
sleep
about
on the
that before
floor.
you
I can
went out
sleep in
there and
another
did what you
room.
did. You
And
ain't
I
think
would
about
let
that.
him, but see, because of
Mhm.
my heart, when people always talk about their heart being
Mm.
tenderhearted, I was very, and I'm still tenderhearted, but I was very tenderhearted back then. I would let him come back, and he would start out sleeping on the sofa. He would make his way back in the bedroom. You go back to having sex, it like nothing ever happened. But
That zipper get to
That's
jumping.
the pattern though.
yeah,
Exactly.
when when
That
they
is
when
the
they
pattern.
toxic like that, then you back in the way you started. But that lag go around. I found a better job trying to help him look for a job. And I just told him, I say, look, I'm not finna do this with you. You got 30 days to get out my house. And during them 30 days, that was the most scariest time. I even went to my ex-husband as my ex-husband, could I move back into, because he had left our old house and he was staying with his girlfriend house. So our house in the country was just empty. And I had went to my ex-husband at one point. I was just as scared. I was like, can I just go back to the country and stay until he leave? My ex-husband said, if that's what you need to do, he said, but the you I know when leave your house, the you I know gonna stand on what you have said and make sure he leave. And so he wind up he wind up leaving. But like you say, it's in stages, it's in pattern. You go through this behavior, and then you go through that silent stage of I ain't gonna entertain it, and then you go through that transition where you just like what to do next. And for me, like I said, it was a year, but I had went through so much stuff during that year that when it was over, I was like, you know what, Lord, I thank you. I thank you. And for that was in 20, I don't even want to lie, that was in 2018. I really hadn't date. Like I've met guys and I've been friends with people since then, but a serious one-on-one relationship where you move into my house or I'm gonna leave my house and I can't do that. Like I'm
Like,
comfortable in my space, but it's because of all of the things that went on during that one year. It kind of just like toxic. When you meet people, you don't know how toxic they are. You get what I'm saying? Until things start happening. You don't see their true colors until you living with them or you having intercourse. You don't see it until, and then when you do see it, you still, for me, when I saw it, I was still like, did he really just call me a bitch? Did he really just take my car keys and go out the door like that his car and not my? Because that was the extent of the toxicity. But for me back then, I was like, he a young guy, because I had a boyfriend. I let that boyfriend go because I was like, he too easy. I can control him. I can, tell him what to do. I tell him to jump and he gonna jump till I tell him to stop. So this supposed to be somebody young. This supposed to be somebody fun, and he would just. And I ain't saying all toxic young folks are toxic.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go
mm,
ahead, please
What,
stop me.
okay, so you let the ex-boyfriend, you felt like you can control him. With the younger guy, did you feel like you could mold him to be
I
who
what?
did.
you want it to
I
be?
Okay,
did.
because
I
I had
did.
the same experience with a younger guy. That's the same guy I was saying that I was like, check me. Like, I need you to check me. He
Hmm.
wasn't that much younger now. You went real low. And,
I
and
did.
no, and
Hey,
Auntie was
we
hey,
what
no,
up?
outside.
Just keep it real. We
hey,
Auntie
keep
was
it real.
outside. But real talk, Auntie, you took a year off from yourself. You know what I mean? You said you had to go somewhere to find to ask someone to help you, right?
I had to go to God. I ain't have to go to
Right.
somebody.
But
I went to the
you
man
are
above.
and all you had to do was talk to yourself. Talk to that God that controls you, empowers you. And that's who
Yeah.
you went and spoke with. And he
Mhm.
helped you to see what you needed to see, and that's why you are where you are.
Yeah.
As Lady T alluded to earlier, when you get tired,
You
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 tired.
see.
gonna be out. It ain't gonna be nothing that can be said or done. You just gonna.
And I had a
Yep.
girlfriend say the same thing you say. She said, when you tired of a person or you tired of a situation, you don't even say you tired. A lot of us when stuck on, when you with somebody and they toxic, and we have to admit we have our toxic traits too, like we
Mhm.
first said. So I got my toxic trait. He got his toxic trait, and together it's like oil and water. And every time something happens, I'm so tired of him. I'm so tired of him. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that. That girlfriend explained to me, she said, when you really truly tired, you don't even say you tired.
I
Yep.
was just
You
about to
don't
say that
even, you
you don't need to talk about it no more.
you
Nope.
sit there, you see it before it happened. Like people that, because I work with mental health, so in mental health for a while. So like people with mental health, they start acting a certain way, so when they finna have
Mhm.
I
Episode.
say a episode or a
Episode.
situation, something is about to happen, because they go to acting different, they go to talking a different kind of way. Some people say it be a full moon on her. People say, it's a full moon. So, they go so they ask
They
tonight.
like what? They like werewolves now.
They
That
finna
what
show
they that
up.
we used to that we used to
They
I
finna
mean,
show up.
when I worked in mental health, that what we would say. And it's very, because I have family members that have and it's so true. Like you already see the little ticks when it first started
Yeah.
ticking. Like you see it. So you
Yeah.
like, what? I ain't gonna entertain it. I'm gonna, you go your way, I'm gonna go mine. And that's why, I always say you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. because it ain't even worth up cutting the food, going to jail, because I
Mhm.
like my freedom. But people will, when you dealing with toxic stuff, for me, if you deal with it and you keep engaging in it, it'll take you to that point.
It will.
And
It
you
will.
right now, I went low. I went, if they say I went low, but all my
Auntie was
girlfriend had
outside.
me thinking that
Auntie
it was,
was
you
all the
know,
way outside, and
man,
she
I was
wasn't
like
even thinking
35.
about going
No,
back
it
in
was,
the house.
and that
Auntie
was the
was on.
thing.
She was
Like
outside.
you thought you were gonna be able to mold him into what you needed him to be, as far as the man was concerned. That was my same thought process with the way it was only a 5-year age difference with us, but it was still like, okay, I can mold him to be exactly what I feel like I need at that time in a man. And Player was like, not gonna
That ain't
happen, but
me. That
nah,
ain't.
Been
nah.
Yep.
been there.
He played me, sis. He played.
Oh man.
Let me take me another drink, cause
Oh
now I
man.
don't feel bad no more.
So
No, don't feel bad. That was an
And this
experience.
boy
That was a
here,
lesson.
exactly. So let's transition over into another the second aspect of this conversation, which is infidelity and betrayal. The impact of cheating in relationship. We already know Auntie Nene done she took some stuff. Auntie Nene took some stuff that ain't gonna take. I
what?
can't do that one. But Lady T, what are your thoughts on, cheating in a relationship? And when Lady T get through, Auntie, I want you to come on in here and then tell us about, what I mean, your thoughts on how you feel cheating, how you queens both feel how cheating impacts a relationship.
I mean, you cheat on me, you don't violated all trust that we had established in this relationship. I can't trust you, and that's the foundation. Like, once that trust is broken, we just together. Like, we just saying we're together now. I've always said that's a deal breaker for me. Cheating. If you cheat on me, um, now I've had situations where they have cheated and I have stayed, or I got my lick back. I ain't on that type of time no more. I think now it's more or less, if you will be willing to go out there and cheat on me, you don't love me. So it's time for me to exit stage right and move on. Like, I'm in a place now where cheating is a deal breaker.
Facts.
And I don't even think it's a we can talk about it and we can try to move forward.
No, because
I
you
never
you,
trust
you
you
went
again.
where you went. You
I
went where
never
you
trust
wanted
you
to go.
again. And I had saw this segment before in reference to that, and the lady was saying she went back after, a whole cheating situation with her mate. It starts to mess with you. So it makes you wonder what you didn't do right, what they were looking for. Even though it's a selfish act, this was something that they chose to go out there and do that had nothing to do with you. Trying to work through that when y'all intimate, you wondering if she touched you like this or did this. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
now I'm in my head, and that's the worst place for me to be, is in my head, because I'm already an overthinker.
Right.
So I just don't feel like we'll ever get back to a place of where we were prior to that. So for me, I think it would be best, or in my best interest, to bow out gracefully when you cheat.
Mhm. I agree. Auntie.
Man,
Auntie.
everything, hey, everything Lady T said. Like for me, I'm the type now. I'm at a place in my life now where I don't just throw blame and say he did, because I did some stuff too. So I have to take ownership of the things that I did.
Right.
um but truth be told, it's like when it first happened, or you first find out about something, when it's somebody like Lady T say, you don't put time, energy. Like in my case, we had been married. You don't put I don't put all of this into you, and then when it happened, it play with your mental, it play with your emotion. It's like, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? and you constantly trying to figure out a way. I think at one point I was blind. I was Mary J. Blige. In some pictures, if
No.
you go back and you look at me back in 2009 and 10, I had the Mary J. going on with the blonde ball because I didn't know what he like. I didn't know. So I was just trying to whatever, you know. So what you saying that I felt the same way. Like for me, I can, to a certain extent, when it comes to cheating, I can deal with it to a certain extent. But when you marry, it just hit different. And I'm just the type of person, well met now, like you say, if I can't trust you, I can't be with you. Now, if I know this about you ahead of time, if I'm messing with Joe and I know Joe love women. Sometimes you just know that about the person that you with. You knew that from when y'all started dating. He loved women. He had 2 or 3 women. He was seeing you and all the. For me, he's seeing me and he's seeing all the other women. So I know Joe love women. I know that I when I see Joe, I trust Joe. And out of sight, out of mind, ain't no telling what Joe out there doing. So I know this about Joe. I just expect Joe to trust to have enough respect for what we got going on that he keep that stuff over there. Now, I'm gonna say it now, Lady T. Now, did just me? He keep that stuff over there. The minute that stuff start affecting us, and now I got to deal with her calling. I got to
That's
deal with
kind of
this
like
one
an
right here.
unrealistic expectation, though.
Oh man.
I get it. But once all of this stuff started coming, now I can't trust Joe. And I'm right where you said I would be. If you can't trust him, you just can't be with him. If I can't
Joe,
trust you,
Joe shouldn't
I
have no trust to begin with if you going into a situation dealing with Joe, knowing that Joe got 3, 4 other
In
women,
line, you
sometimes
and
already
you
know.
I'm
You
get
part
told
of
Joe.
the many women that he dealing with. I already know if that's the type of time that Joe on. I know me and Joe just gonna be surface. It ain't gonna be nothing more,
Mhm.
nothing
More than
less.
that. But sometimes, we tell ourselves we're gonna stay surface. We ain't gonna go further. And then feelings start getting involved. And like in my situation, I knew my ex-husband. Me and like I said, we got together when we were young. I knew him when we got together. He would date somebody. Then he started dating me, and it was all over the place. But we were high school. This is like high school sweetheart stuff. People gonna do what they want to do. And as we got older, what he told me, and I tell this to his face, what he told me was, I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna do the stuff I used to do. And I fell for it. And I fell for it because in my heart,
That's
I
what you
believe
wanted.
that's
That's
what I
what you
wanted.
wanted.
And that's what, because I was 21. I'm at my prime.
You
I
young,
was
yeah.
fine. I mean, to me, I was a teen. I'm 43 now. I be like,
Whoa.
I ain't fine like I used to be.
Why you
But
ain't?
I ain't, because back then I was 150 pounds soaking wet, baby. To me, I was the real auntie back then. We were doing. I wouldn't
So
even
you
know
ain't
that.
the auntie now.
I'm a OG auntie now. I'm a OG, but all jokes aside, y'all know I try to make a joke out of everything. But he told me he was gonna change, and I expected that change to occur. Did he change? He probably did. But somewhere in the process, when we had the conversation, he felt like he wasn't getting what he needed from me. And he went right back to his old selfish ways. And then by the time everything came full circle, now I'm at the point to where, okay, let's figure out what we need to do. And then eventually, when it got to the point that I couldn't trust, if I can't trust you, that when I leave here, you're not gonna, do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then what I'm with you for? I should at least be able to go out the door, go to the store and do some other stuff and know that you're gonna do halfway right while I'm gone. So, I totally agree with everything you said. Now, my way of getting a lady tea is just a little different. But I totally agree. When the trust is gone, it's just like BB King said, when the thrill is gone,
Hmm.
we ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. It ain't gonna be nothing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. But at this time, I regret to
You're
inform you
dismissed.
that we going our separate ways. I wish you
You're
nothing but the
dismissed.
best, but in my mind, it goes straight to hell
See,
because I'm
see,
out.
but that's what you got to say. If that's how you feel, that's what you have to say. You have to release that energy in that moment. If not, that energy gonna still be inside of you because you didn't close that connection.
It was close, Lady T, where the connection closed when I told him thank you for your time.
Thank you for
What
your
is it?
services.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
That's it right there.
They're no
That's
longer
it.
needed. Thank you.
That is there are, there are a couple of different reasons that people leave a cheater, and you both highlighted the trust issue, and you should, because that in itself, when you cheat, that you've broken the trust, because if it was something that you truly wanted to do and it wasn't something that was going to be detrimental to us, you would have came to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. But you knew that this action was going to be detrimental to us, and instead of you realizing that and staying in that mind, you said, fuck me. That's really what you said.
That's
Fuck me.
pretty much
I'm
what
gonna
you
do
said.
me. And so you did you. Now live with you.
Live with the
Enjoy
consequences
the
on that
enjoy the
choice.
individual that you have evolved into. You allowed that energy to consume you and be that person. Don't be mad at me because I stand 10 toes on where I stand. Yes,
You
ma'am.
better
I
preach.
know you getting ready to close, but I got to say one thing too. And when we
Okay.
talk about toxic and we coming to a close with it, it all go back to lack of communication.
It
Because,
does.
like you just said, when that person chose to do what they did and they failed to communicate or relay that information, I just had to put that in there.
Thank
That's
you.
it. That's
All
it.
right.
That's all. I
Thank
just I
Thank
just had
you.
to put that part in because a lot of people don't get with all even lack of communication sometimes can be a toxic trait. If
Mm.
me and you together, but you don't communicate with me, and you go out to Cancun and you gone for 2 weeks or you gone for a week, that's toxic. If we in a real relationship, you follow what I'm saying? So that's why I said when you start saying that and about stuff happening and then you didn't communicate it, that just made me think about the lack of communication because it happened. But I'm done.
you good now? Okay. So when you deal with that trust issue, you see that that person is no good for you, and you leave. You have regained your self respect. As Auntie Nene, as you alluded to, you had that conversation with whomever or whatever you needed to converse with to realign yourself and get back to who you are. You understand that your emotional health is bigger and worth more than this connection. And I understand that if I stay in this connection, that you're gonna tear me down emotionally, as you stated with the young cat. Well, he young. No, that no. As soon as he left the house with your car, hey, 911.
What's your emergency? My car has
My
been
car been stolen.
stolen. I like to make a report for a
Somebody got my
stolen
car.
vehicle.
Exactly. Because if, like I said with Quiet Storm, if when you accept it one time, you accepted it forever.
Yeah.
You showing them how
So
to treat you.
exactly. You have to be serious about you in order for anybody else to take you seriously.
It's
You
the
know,
camera, y'all. My thing is backwards. I'm sorry. Go on.
oh,
I'm
you
listening.
got the wig right now.
I
You
got
good,
it right.
Auntie?
I've been fighting because I
It's
forgot to
like she
flip
was
my
trying to get the bang right, then she put it over here, then she put it back there. She was like, we're gonna have a
Yeah,
side bang.
yeah, just
It's
gonna have
okay.
side bang. We're
I'm,
gonna
I'm
swipe the shank
good.
to
I'm
the side.
good. I'm gonna take it out when we get done anyway. I'm good.
But like, as many people, many people stay in those connections because of their desire for loyalty. They want, like Auntie Nene, like you alluded to, that person said they were going to change, and that's what you wanted them to do. That's what you want them to be. So you accept that because that's what you want to hear, and you like that person inside of you is telling you that motherfucker ain't finna change.
I
They
knew it, but
are
hey,
who
I
they
believe
are.
him.
Exactly. You wanted to believe him. You wanted to, but
I believe women be
ultimately,
a little delulu.
say that again.
I believe sometimes women be a little delusional. Like no matter
He
what a person be
Anytime.
showing us, our heart and our mind just do not be on one accord. That could be toxic too. That could be a toxic trait. But you refuse to see what's being shown. And then once everything fall through, then it's like, well, he did, but it's like he showed us in so many different ways what he was and who he was, and we still did not want him. I believe we be crazy sometimes. I'm sorry, Unc. I just
It's
when
not
you
that
was
you're
talking, it
crazy.
just
just made me
It's
think
just
about that. Like
right.
we
It's not that
low
you're
key
crazy. It's just
delusional.
that you didn't realize that you and that other individual have different values. You view things differently. Things that you thought you had the same viewpoint on, it wasn't. Because when you saw that and you incurred that and you had that moment, you encountered that moment with a representative because that other person was being who they needed to be to get what they wanted from you.
No, not even necessarily
And
that.
some,
More or less, when I say I believe sometimes we can be low key delusional, it's because for some women, not all, you have those women that see those red flags and they like, I know it's only gonna get worse from here. And then you have other women who, by the time those red flags are waving in front of us, now we're invested. So now I'm looking at the time I don't put in. Now I'm looking at the fantasy or the image or the dream or the vision that I have for us. I've fallen in love with your potential, not who you showing me you are, but who in my mind I envision you being or us being. So I stay in it, hoping that that person that I got up here is going to later show up when you've been showing me all along with all those red flags, with what your actions was showing, what was coming out your mouth. It wasn't aligning with the vision.
right.
But instead of saying, hey, and
Mm-mm.
it's not that we fell in love with the representative, you fell
We
in love with the potential. This is the image that you have in your head, not of what you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
That's
understand
why I
exactly
feel
what you're
like we
get
be
it.
saying.
kind of low key, a little
However,
off.
that individual needs to be able to be themselves and be time.
You froze.
You froze.
I
Hey,
froze.
your
Yeah, you
squirrels
froze.
ain't moving. Move the
Yeah,
squirrel.
my
Move the
squirrels ain't
squirrel.
moving. Okay, they moving now.
Now we hear you, but you ain't moving.
Oh man.
Oh
Oh,
Lord.
see what?
And Lady T, what you said is so true. Like we can see those red flags. We can see that he don't gave us all the time. Like when he was talking to other females, oh, that's just a friend of mine, or he
Mm-hmm.
did other little stuff, and he always got an excuse for it. So what you see, you really didn't see. So they say, but later on, when you think about it, be like, so this the same female that I saw him with that he said was just a friend,
Or
or
the
this the
female
same
that you told me I ain't have to worry about.
about you told me I ain't
Did
got to
he
worry
tell
about her,
he
but the whole
is friend?
yeah, but the whole time y'all they been having stuff going on. But you been
No,
telling me, oh, don't worry about it. It ain't like that. And like even in
you
my
don't
case,
need
when I
to worry about
got married, my ex-husband, this is so weird. He had been trying to propose. I just thought the nigga was lying. I'm just gonna tell y'all. I thought cause I know him. We had been together since I was like, we became friends when I was 15. We started dating when I was 16. We got married when I was 21. So I knew him. I knew a lot of stuff that he had did. And so he was going through a transition. His best friend, one friend had committed suicide, one friend had got killed. I don't know if we still record or not. It say we
We,
recording, so I
we
guess he gonna
still
come
say
back
we're
in.
recording.
But he had gone through some stuff. So when it came time for the proposal, he had bought a little ring. I had been looking like, what you got the ring for? But he had bought a ring and he kept saying, I want to marry you. I want to marry you. Nigga, you don't want to marry me. You just lying. And so he brought in one of his homeboy because to his friends, we were like a power couple. They were like, he don't took Tanisha around the moon and back with all this stuff he don't did. And she still him. Like if they can get through anything, we can get through anything. You get what I'm saying? So he used one of the homeboy. He brought him in on the lie. The homeboy, oh, my boy gonna do right.
Not
He
the
said
lie.
he gonna do right. He gonna do right. Try please. He did right. We got married in 2002. He did right up until probably around 2004. But like with the outside child, the telltale sign with the like in 2004, my ex-husband wasn't even a drinker. He didn't drink like I was drinking wine coolers back then. He wasn't really drinking at all. This Negro had started drinking. He had like 2, 3 car accident coming in from Fort Valley, like coming into Americas. Like we'll buy a car, he'll wreck the car. We'll buy a car, he'll wreck a car. And you like, what in the world is going on that you keep wrecking the car? What in the world is going on? Go out with it, homeboy. They come in. Hey, can you come to town? Cause we live in the country. Can you come to town and pick him up? Cause he don't need to drive in the state that he in. Still ain't figured out nothing. It wasn't until 2005 when some stuff was going on that I started being a detective. Cause I tell everybody I'm a detective now. You
All
know,
women are.
I'm a detective. I can't. You can tell me what you want to tell me, and I think that's a toxic trait too. But hey, it is what it is. My hands are up. If I know your name and I know where you from, you better believe I'm finna Google you. I'm finna look you up. I need some info. So hey,
I think that's women all together.
but you can't. We at that point now. You can't believe that, and it because the trust, like you said earlier.
Once that trust broken, I can't trust nothing you say.
So you can tell me your name, John Smith, and you from Long Island, Georgia. You better believe at some point on this laptop or on that phone, I'm looking up John Smith, Long Island, Georgia, and I'm trying to figure out what come up on you. Are you married? What come up on the white
You
page and
got a
what come
criminal
up?
background.
Yeah. And one of them was so good, I had to buy the background for him. Like most of them, I get all the good information for free. He lied so well, I was like, you know what? He just ain't gonna ever admit to the truth. You know what I did? I went and paid them $19 or $15, whatever it was, or got that free trial and got that background check with like 20-cent pages. I
Yeah.
did. I did. I could tell him everywhere he lived. I can tell him who his wife was, cause he was said, I'm not married. Yes, you will. Like you don't have to lie to me. I got the proof right here. I was scared, like I was like, nah, I know too much information. So he kept saying, well, can I come visit? No, you can't come visit me. You can't come to my house. Do not come here. I won't even be here. And for a couple of weekends, I hid out at some of my friends. He was a big dude. I was like this joke of him. Lady T, I talk a lot of junk, but I can't fight like that. I don't got
Listen,
old now.
listen. After my whole little situation, baby, I thought I could fight. I thought I could. A woman's strength ain't nothing. I don't care how big, small, little, tall, whatever. A woman's strength will never match a man's.
I
Yeah, I
sure
learned that
did.
the hard way.
And after
I
dealing with the
don't know.
twin,
I don't
you
see
back
some
now.
female. I don't see some female do some damage to some dudes. Like,
You
bro, fight back, bro,
Look
bro,
who
fight
plotting
back.
on us on
look,
their
did you
own
at
show.
least hitch the chick? Like,
Right? Come on, bro, bro,
Sure.
bite. Use your teeth. Come on,
don't say
man.
that. That's a trigger for me because
Man.
he bit me. So yeah, we ain't gonna do that in
And
my
with the
face.
twin and with the 21-year-old after tussling with him, you would have thought I would have been ready. Try play. I was
And that
like, that
young boy with
21
all
year
that testosterone and
testosterone.
Mm, mm, mm.
after
Yeah,
30, how did that body start slowing down? All these changes start
But
occurring.
but you
yeah,
know when you
man.
watch enough, people think I be lying. I had watched Forensic Files, Cold Case, and Criminal Minds so much that I knew when we got into it, if I didn't do nothing else, I had to claw him. I scratched up his
So
face,
you'll
I
have it
scratched
under
up
your
his cheek.
nails.
That
If
right.
anything happens.
Mm.
Anything happened, they were gonna find that DNA. And my mama knew because me and my mama, we talked back then about all kind of stuff. And my
Yeah.
mama knew, but my mama one of them old school lady that tried to save me. Cause they used to the dude in here, his roommate used to live across the street from me. And my mama knew me. She knew me now. Like Uncle Cousin said, sometimes that zipper be popping. My mama said, don't you know that young boy? Don't you be talking to them young boys across the street. And I fell for the okadoke hook, line, and sinker. We started messaging each other on Instagram. That
Mm-hmm.
thing, he come over. Can I borrow some of this? Can I borrow some of that? Can
I'm
you
finna get
take
in
me
there,
to the
huh?
store?
Can
And
you
you know
take
what?
me
You the
to the
big bad
store?
wolf out there knocking, and you come on in.
Mm, mm, mm.
So hey,
And
but
again, instead of
But yo,
Auntie accepting the situation for what it is, she tried to make it into what she wanted it to be because she thought that she could control that young man because he ain't gonna know no better. I got
I
it.
mhm.
did,
I
I
got him. I
did.
done been too many times around the pecan tree. I know what he gonna do. But
Right now,
ultimately, the decision to leave is deep, personal, and varies based on individual circumstances and feelings. You know, we already said enough. We ain't gonna keep talking about that right there because we already know we're gonna be on to some great stuff. We appreciate y'all for coming through. And if you reach this part of the show, do like you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. You know what I mean? Go on over there to IG and holla at Miss Sanders on IG. You know what I mean? And go on
Hey,
over there, holla
jump
at
up in my
Miss
inbox.
Cindy. Right? Lady T ain't ready yet. She ain't ready for that yet. She's a lady, okay? So you respect the lady.
Yeah, right. Don't be
Auntie
jumping in
said
my
she
sister
ain't.
inbox either.
Auntie
Also,
said she done gave up on dating, but she's entertaining conversations. Y'all can talk
yeah,
right now.
right. I
Y'all
am not.
can talk.
They're right.
And in 2024, in come February, we gonna have matching pajamas. She gonna have on
I
some matching
thought I
pajamas
thought
for
we were still
Valentine's.
going for the matching pajamas at Christmas time, but I'm glad to know.
We gonna do matching pajamas, but it ain't gonna be no me and him.
Okay.
Let me stop playing. But for real, I'm just tired, y'all. I mean, I know Uncle Cousin trying to close out the show. Right now, I'm just
And
tired.
you finna let me too. You sure live. You remember how you told me? You remember how you said you want that young dude to check you? Shut up. No, I'm just playing, man. You know I'm gonna edit that out, man. But for real, we appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.